Hi, my name is Edgar Poureshagh, and I'm the owner and sommelier at 320 Wine Lounge in Los Angeles, California. Today, we're going to be going over how to make braised oxtail in red wine and leeks. So the first thing we're going to need is garlic. So we're going to need about 10 cloves. So each clove, we're going to just crush it. We don't need to do much more because if we slice it too finely, then it's going to cook for such a long time that it would just fall apart. We want to see nice little chunks of each vegetable in our braising. So now that we have our garlic, we need onions. So we want to curl our fingers because that way it keeps the knife away from cutting us and we stay nice and safe in the process. Then we have a large carrot. If they're smaller, just use 2. We want a good amount of carrots because they do add a little bit of sweetness to the braising, and it also gives a good textural element. And last but not least, we have leeks. I've cleaned them and sliced the tops and bottoms, and we just want to take the greenest of the leeks and give a couple of slices. Now, we have a very hot pan that's at medium-high heat. We're going to add about 1/3 cup of olive oil and about 1/3 cup of butter because we do need a good amount of oil to really braise these oxtails. So now that the butter's nice and melted, we're going to take our oxtail, which I chose for center cut 1.5 inch oxtail, and we're going to take each piece and we're going to heavily salt it because we want to form a crust around the outside and just place them in the pan so that they sear well. So we're going to let these sear on this side for about 5 minutes. We're going to flip them over and sear the other side as well. We're going to want to salt the tops, the unseared tops, before we flip them over so that they can develop a nice crust as well. And then we're going to flip our oxtails over. So now both sides are effectively seared. So what we're going to do is we're going to add cracked black pepper. Now you're going to want, well, I'm going to want quite a lot of this due to taste, but I do like a lot of spice in my oxtail. Then what we're going to do is add 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. You can use fresh tomatoes or sun-dried tomatoes, but didn't want to overcomplicate, so this works just fine. Then all of the vegetables that we cut up earlier, including the raw garlic. Now we actually put all the vegetables raw because this is going to be cooking for quite a long time and we want to make sure the vegetables don't fall apart. So now we're going to add a red. I chose a northern Italian red because oxtail is traditionally from that area. So this is an Nebbiolo. We're going to add quite a bit actually until we see the braising fluid reach the top of the oxtails. So I just finished pouring the wine and we've brought it down to a low simmer. We're going to simmer it this way for a couple of hours. You really want the tough oxtail to break down and soften up. So we're going to put a lid on it, leave it slightly ajar so that the water evaporates. And we're going to stir it every couple of minutes at first, and then we're going to let it be stirred every 20 minutes or so afterwards. Should cook for about 2 hours and should be a beautiful dish. Alright, so we're done braising. Now feel free, as you're braising, as the liquid goes down, you can add a little more wine as you see fit, or you can even add water. If you've added about half a bottle of wine, that flavor of the wine is already there. So you can always just add more water, filtered preferably, of course. So we're going to take the oxtail pieces and arrange them on the plate. Okay, so then we're going to use a slotted spoon to get out some of the braised vegetables. Now, the braising fluid is here and you can use it as much as you want, but for presentation purposes, I like to show some of the vegetables that were used, and gives it a nice color and punch. So we'll finish it with a touch more of cracked pepper and just a touch of roughly chopped parsley. So this dish has really bold flavors. So you're going to want a bold wine. Red wine is preferred here, and the north of Italy would be great. But a big Syrah, a nice cab would also work well. And so here it is. This is how to make braised oxtail and red wine and leeks.